pandemic situation is getting dire, and more dire.
Cases of measles spiking in a multi-state outbreak now. The new numbers this morning.
It's become a very large and very dangerous measles epidemic.
126,000 plus new infections, 22 of those states reporting records in hospitalizations.
If we do nothing, we are going to get to a point where I'm guessing between now and Inauguration Day, as many as 100,000 additional Americans might die.
We're up to at least 320 cases nationally, compared with 285 last year and 59 in 2023. Now, that includes an update from Texas with 259 total cases, 34 hospitalizations, and 1 death.
Authorities and others to mandate the vaccine.
Yes, and it cannot come soon enough.
Pharmacies are announcing plans to vaccinate young children.
So many parents very eager to get their kids vaccinated. I am among them.
Studies show us that if kids get infected, 2,000 out of 10,000 would be hospitalized, and there would be 10 to 30 deaths.
Measles was the single leading killer of children globally.
Contaminated surfaces could transmit the coronavirus.
Look at my hands and look how it transferred to some of you.
A susceptible community is being infected with a virus that's highly contagious.
The liberal media bringing back a familiar panic mode to push another pandemic. Joining us now to discuss, the Wellness Company Chief Scientific Officer, Dr. Peter McCullough. Doctor, I had the measles when I was a kid. My sister had the measles. How dangerous is it really? We got over it. We're I guess immune to getting it again. Is it really that dangerous?
Well, back when you were a kid, records were kept. They were very accurate. The risk of death is 0.2 per 1,000. So it's a mild illness. It's clearly being overhyped by the left media and their medical commentators, and it's not helpful.
And then you have the question of the risks of taking a vaccine. I know I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I'm just wondering, accepted risks of taking a vaccine compared to that number that you just cited of the deadliness of it, which is very, very minuscule. Is it worth it for everybody to get a vaccine?
It's an individual choice, and RFK has made this very clear. Rates of measles vaccination are essentially maximized across the United States. Dallas County, where I am, it's 96% coverage. We're having kind of an average year for measles. We're at 378 cases, and the measles vaccines are not perfect. So vaccinated people get measles. They contribute to these case counts. A bad year a few years ago was 1,200 cases.
I remember also the question about acceptable risk for the COVID vaccine. A lot of that, it didn't seem, particularly for children, it didn't seem to be worth it. Could we see the same thing happen with measles or not?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Vast majority of the population has been vaccinated. But we're really talking about the messaging should be on early treatment for those who contract measles, vaccinated or not. Includes vitamin A, immunoglobulins, nebulizers, steroids, and antibiotics for secondary infections. A lot of doctors now have never treated measles cases, and we should have the messaging that's helpful to both patients and the doctors.
I think that makes common sense, but unfortunately, common sense ain't that common now. Peter McCullough, thank you, doctor, for being here. Really appreciate your expertise on all this.